going on, guys? So the time has finally come and we're about to start the process of putting the M3 rear end into the E46. I bought this about 2 months ago. It's taken me quite a while to get all the money for, you know, bushings and whatnot, and I mean, I still need to get some drive shaft work done, so I still got some time before this thing is, you know, driving, but we're at least gonna get it up.
That's what she said. So
the first thing I'm gonna do before we even get started, before I even touch this thing and do the bushings, I'm just gonna wash it real good because it's filthy. So let's give her a good wash. Oh, I ran over my toe with the jack. Ah, don't do that. All right, I don't have any degreaser, which would be nice, but I do have that. Oh, wait a second. What's that? Brake clean. Brake clean might work. So, got some stuff off, you know, it's pretty clean now. I gotta repaint these calipers, but I think most of the annoying, you know, when you're working on stuff and it's just like, why is that dirty? I think that's all gone. My hands won't get too fucked up. Yeah, she's nice and all right. So basic rundown of what's going on. I got this whole rear end from my buddy Robbie, about $1,000. It's got the 362 limited slip, basically everything but, you know, suspension wise I picked up. And then I also got the drive shaft, which you're gonna need too, and the little support thing. So got this, the whole M3 rear end is gonna go into this car. It's a mess right now, but if you watch the channel, pretty much everything is done in this car. It's pretty mechanically sound, like, other than rear end work. Basically, I had the rear end welded. I broke 2 axles. It's on 1 axle right now. That's why we're doing this, because I'm not trying to weld anything anymore. Just put the cage in. Yeah, basically gutting it. I got a lot of other stuff for it. Let's see. This, one of those things, RTD shifter. I got a steering wheel that we're gonna put in, just an NRG. As far as the engine goes, it's pretty shot. It's got 215 or 220,000 miles on it. Sounds pretty bad, runs pretty, I don't know, bad I guess you'd say. It still makes power, but it just sounds horrible. So I pulled the engine off my brother's car, which is a 2001 330. That engine only has about 160,000 miles. So when we get that engine to the garage, we're gonna rebuild it, put it in this car, and maybe before we put it in this car, there's a possible turbo kit in the mix. But we're definitely gonna go through that whole engine. So this thing will have a new engine soon, but everything other than, you know, the engine and stuff, like all the bushings are done. Suspension is all right. It's got Racelands in there, but I mean, they do pretty well. I mean, people talk shit, but they do pretty well. But yeah, everything else is done. What the fuck else did I do to this thing? I did a lot of shit to this thing. I can't remember any of it. It's been fucking 7 months since I've driven the thing, so. Well, yeah, it's pretty clapped right now. But as soon as this gets in there and it gets on the road, she's gonna be looking nice, and basically gonna be like an autocross car, drift car, you know, everything I need. So, about to put this bitch in. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the exhaust, all the under plating shit, all the heat shields and stuff. I'm just gonna do that off camera. If you don't know how to do that and remove your exhaust and take it down and stuff, you should not be attempting to do this. So I'm just gonna assume that everybody that wants to do this knows how to take their exhaust off. So, all right, so the exhaust is all off, out from under the car. It's pretty much empty down there. Before I do anything, before I even drop the subframe, I bought all new bushings for like literally everything in here. The trailing arms, they already have poly bushings in them, so I'm leaving those. But I got the upper and lower ball joints, and then this bushing right here for the other end of this thing. And then I got ECS tuning, poly diff mounts, because I think these are stock. I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna be changing those too. Alright, something that I just found out for these subframe bushings, I've been getting them out. I got 3 of them out. Usually when I try to burn them out, I can't use the tool because this is too thick right here, so it doesn't fit around it. And usually when I would try to burn out bushings, I would like light them on the top, and I would just keep lighting them and like whatever. But I just found out through trial and error that don't even burn the fucking top. Just hit this metal all around the side for like a solid minute or 2, and all the rubber in there is just gonna start bubbling out. It literally pushes out. It's actually pretty sick. And once she's bubbling, start whacking. And then the sway bar, with these guys in the back, the sway bar gets in the way. One of these bolts was stripped for there, so I couldn't take it out. So all I did was put a screwdriver in there and just like hammer it that way, and then the rest of the way out. But literally, like, it's so easy if you know like the technique. That's fucking crazy. Usually, I mean, on that subframe, these took me at least 2.5 hours. But this is like 15 minutes. It's fucking sick. Christ. All right, got the diff out. Sweet. I couldn't even imagine if that was in the car. That would be ass. That was still ass. I had to take the sway bar off. Oh, okay. Cool. Diff bushings. I figured out they're not poly because they're pretty clapped. I don't know. Obviously, it's not gonna focus on that, but oh, here, look. That's a good one. So they're pretty messed up. So even if they, I don't know if that's stock or not, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna replace them anyway. Alright, I got the back two out by just torching them and then hitting them. I had to put a flathead in, and I just hit the flathead all the way through and it popped it out. These are definitely stock, by the way. Now onto the one. There's 3 bushings for the diff, and the last one is in the thing itself. Ugh. The last one is right here. I'm probably just gonna hit it like I've been doing because this stupid kit thing isn't working for shit. So I just heated that one pretty well, and then I took a screwdriver and popped it back here and just hammered it out. Simple temple. Alright, now we're gonna install the diff bushings. So there's 2 back here, and then there's the one that's in the subframe. I got the ECS tuning polyurethane bushings. The link for these will be in the description as well. So I took the middle thing out just because it's easier to get the rubber in when the middle's out. So, and then you can kind of smack the other thing in. When doing poly bushings and putting poly bushings in, some heavy duty silicone is a lifesaver for sure. And it doesn't hurt or anything, so. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that these go in this way. We won't know for sure until it gets up. I found like one picture online. The back diff bolts have this washer that comes with it, or that's like stock on it. But if you take it out, this bolt fits right in there. So that's what I'm assuming it's designed to do. So we'll see, I guess. All right, that in there. They're nice. Okay, now you want to grease. I don't really know where this goes, where it's supposed to go, but I know it helps with squeaking. So we'll put some all along where this metal touches in there, and hopefully we won't squeak. I don't really know. Put some around there too. Huh? Oh, Jesus. Those ones are good. Okay, now we're gonna do this one. Can you see it? Yeah. Nice. Well, that's gonna be a problem. No. Alright, I got the thing out because it's fucking impossible to get this in. I'm putting this in from this side because I don't want to space the diff at all. I think that's the right way to do it. Honestly don't know because you can't find shit on this anywhere, so. Alright, so that's super flush now. I I guess I'm gonna try to stick this in back there. Good enough. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is drop the stock subframe. Right now we're gonna drop it with everything attached to it. It's one piece, 4 bolts, pretty easy. I gotta get that out to put the subframe bushings in this subframe, and then also I'm gonna reinforce the subframe. So I'm using an epoxy method, so it's gonna take 24 hours to cure, and I'm trying to put this up tomorrow, so I want to get that done as soon as possible. So we're gonna go drop the stock subframe. Here we go. Woo! When you let a car sit, I don't know if you can see how many spider webs there are. They're literally hanging down. That's gross. That makes this suck even worse. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all 18s. This one is gonna remove this brace, and this brace has bolts in there. I believe they're 13s. They're either 13s or 15s. There's 1, 2, there's supposed to be a 4th one there. So we're gonna remove those 4 bolts, and then there's also, oh my god, dude, fucking A. Literally just so many spider webs. This is ass. Okay, the trailing arms need to come off too. And those are also 18s, and there's 3 bolts on either one of those. And then also have to disconnect your rear shock, which is an 18 as well. So got all these 18s, you know, the shock, trailing arm, and the 4 mounts, and then oh fuck, the drive shaft too. All right, well, one thing at a time. Actually, the drive shaft should be first. Damn it. All right, I really want to illustrate my point about my work environment right now. I'm just gonna toss a little bit of this yellow paint everywhere, and let's see. Okay, it's literally like that the entire way down the drive shaft. I'm just gonna be fucking covered in spider webs. This is absolutely ass. And now everything's yellow because I'm trying to prove a point. But like, seriously. Alright, so when we picked up the rear end, as far as brakes go, what we did to connect them is just snip it right there. So that's where like it hits the body. So this whole line going into there is what is snipped here. So instead of like trying to, I don't know, do whatever you do to connect that to something, on the 330 I'm just taking off. I'm pretty sure that these will fit into the M3 one right there. So I'm just taking the caliper off and undoing it from the caliper, and then undoing it from the subframe, and just leaving the brake line hanging like this. This is connected to the body, so when the subframe drops, this will stay, and then when we put the new one up, we'll just hook these right up to the M3 brakes. So that's what I'm doing there. In order to get that off, I had to take the strut off of here. I've already undone all the drive shaft bolts right there. They're all E12s. So that's out, and then I got all the bolts in here. They were 13mm.
Everything else is loose as far as these guys. They're all broken free already. So I'm just gonna do this last brake and then we'll be dropping her.
Okay, so I just want everybody to know that I've had this car for over 2 years, maybe two years and 2 or 3 months, okay? And I drove it straight for 2 years. And I've never once changed the brake pads. And these are the rear brake pads right now. Never have I changed the brake pads. And you know these are the ones that are on there. They're not the, these are literally new. Two years and a couple months. And they're fucking new pads. I don't understand it. The front ones are literally thick. Front ones are pretty much new too. Again, never bought brake pads for this car. Ever. Ever. It's fucking weird, dude. Everything is loose. Let's see what we can do. Whoa. It's just gonna fucking drop. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Nice. All right, let's get her out of here. It even took the bushings out for me. Excellent. Excellent. So you can see here, I blew this axle, replaced it, and then I blew this one. And that was the last straw. I was done after this one, so. Still blown. All I need from this is these yellow bushings. And that'd be it. You kids like crack. So, I started the process of reinforcing the subframe with these plates right here. I was gonna do the budget method with epoxy, which apparently works. It makes sense that it works. And I was grinding away. And look at that crack. Dude, that's actually pretty good that I found that though. It's not that bad, but it is bad. Now I'm gonna need someone to weld it, which is sick. This side looks alright. There's nothing wrong with this side. It's not even on the, usually it's on the spot weld. That's just on the frame itself. Everything else looks alright. Fuck. Well, I gotta have someone weld that. I'm not gonna do that with Harbor Freight. That's for sure. Fuck me.
And when I die, make sure you spread my blood on a BMW. And when I die, make sure you spread my blood on a BMW. Microphone attached to my head so I